you. Thank you so much. In the Baisina, Atwalo Malo, or Malo Atwalo Feke, Ofeni Sinofia. So I would not have dared to interrupt the Oja, which played in salutation to that legendary speech. If you're not here, it's the problem. If you're not here at this very moment, if you miss this, that's part of the problem, that's part of the sabotage. It's not just an active connival with the outsiders to harm us. It's also in the decision to miss iconic moments like this and the lessons that come with it. Thank you. Thank you. That was a fabulous speech, and may the lessons remain with us, and may it inspire us to take the actions that we need as Igbo to drive the development we need to see in our region. Dalurin Nesa, thank you. And now we will have Mr. Uche Omar Gabriel, the Managing Director of Solid FM, join the Nkata proper now to lead the moderated panel session. Thank you so much, Mr. Uche Gabriel. No, thank you.
If you enjoyed the speech, I'd like you to put your hands together one more time for my boss right here. I also want to thank Center for Memories for the opportunity to moderate this session. Lamentation is not a social or political strategy, and more than ever, we need more than sympathy. We need a strategic plan of not just survival, but a way to thrive and rise above both perceived and real threats. Thank you, Ebezina. Thank you, Vin Martin Obiorailu, for that passionate and call to action for Ndibu. And I want to also thank God, because it's not just for the people who are here. Signature TV will amplify it, Afia TV will amplify it, and all the other social media platforms. So those who are not here will eventually get to hear it. Now, we're going to have an interactive session. I'll ask a few questions, and then we'll swing into also getting a bit of input. It could be a question, it could be a short comment. So, let me start with this. I had to change my questions because your speech answered all my questions. So, from your exposition, which cited humongous amounts of funds and the failure of the political class to deploy the funds to judicial and productive use, and of course you should mean leadership is a foundational and central factor in the problems we face as a people. Now, with successive governments failing, of course, that's from the outside, failing to implement the 3 R's, with a political class that is not that committed to the Igbo cause, and a skewed political and electoral process that threw up not the best, what chances do the Igbos really have for reintegration into the political landscape?
Well, I don't know if it shocks you that in almost every other aspect of our lives, the Igbos have been rehabilitated or rehabilitated themselves. Is it in sports? In the first 2 years after the Civil War, Rangers took Igbos back into the mainstream. Is it in business? Even with the abandoned property and whatever. Go to Abuja. A good percentage of the big houses are owned by Igbos. Hotels, shopping malls. Like I said in my discussion or in my speech, the retail market is with Igbos. So is it not worrying us that we can't achieve that in the political front. And why? You find out that a lot of these achievements are by individuals. It has become so problematic for Igbos to come together and pursue a project. I was telling a friend of mine, I live in Abuja. I've been in this journalism. I've also done some politics. Anytime an Igbo man invites you to a meeting about how to move Igbo forward, you come the first time, they will talk about it. You come the second time, they will talk about it. You come the third time, he's running for president or governor. That's why he's been calling people to come and do an Igbo agenda. They are not sincere. You know, I hope I will not be misunderstood, but I used Tinubu as, how do they say it, point of contact or something, or to tell my story. The leaders are not being sincere with those that they are leading, especially at our tribal level. You're an Igbo man or an Igbo politician is telling you, "Dia kaija ogu no tutu echi." He say at time or signal 4 a.m. He put up by 4 a.m. ne ute na bias agwagi na go by 3 and it email investigation about Jereboka. So a lot of times people have been deceived, people have been misdirected, their money is taken away from them, especially our brothers that come from the diaspora to come and run for office and what have you. So what I think we need to do in this area is, I talked about common purpose. What is our agenda? But sometimes revolutions are not achieved by 1,000 people. There must be a leader. We are looking for that leader, and we are hoping that that leader will emerge sooner than later.
Now, part of the problem we have is there's a notion of Igbo. Now, you rightly cited Tinubu as a case study. When Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State, the governor of my state then was Ojuzokalo. Shimaroke was the governor of ENUGU State. Yeah. And how come these two have not been able to build the kind of political, movement that he has built over the time?
It takes a lot of energy.
Energy they don't have?
It takes a lot of money. Then it takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of sacrifice. And then it takes a certain degree of dictatorship. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because I'm sure you would have heard those accusations. Oh, Tinubu is riding roughshod over his political family and all that. Sometimes you need to do a little of that to beat people into shape. If you don't do it, everybody just does what they like.
Because they may not see what you're saying.
They may not see what you're saying. So, I told them, there was a governor who is my friend, and he wanted to start, he was going to run for president at that time. And he wanted to start what he called something like Vin Martin Vanguards, or Vin Martin Youths for this. And I told him, there were other people then. When we finished, I asked to see him in private. I said, "Sir, if all you want to do is to use this to run for governor or for presidency, forget it. Nigerians, Igbos now know the trick. Can we do this in such a way that it has nothing to do with you? Can you support it? Let it be an Igbo movement. An Igbo movement that goes to enlighten our youths, enlighten our people, and tell them about what we need to do as a people." And he said yes, but he didn't mean it, because we have parochial agenda. It took Tinubu so many years to work on this. He had handshakes across the Niger. He had handshakes across the whatever. He supported people in the north. He worked with people in the south. Everywhere. You need to be sagacious. There's a lot of sagacity needed. So, some of the people you mentioned are very rich too. But what you ask yourself is, what did they do with their wealth? Like I said, Tinubu never got involved in running for office with small boys, 2-year-old boys. And they respected him for that.
Why do you think they are unable to mobilize and grow, at least?
Because they are parties to the conflict. When you start running for election, you will not be respected. Do you understand what I mean? I mean, like me now, I go and start running for councillor in my village. Everybody will say that this thing has something wrong with him. What I should be doing is put money for some bright boys and say, run for councillor and win. So they become your foot soldiers.
Now, there's another significant problem, which I don't know how we're going to deal with it. There's more individualism going on than we have collaborations. Whether you're talking about business. If it was in the north that probably you're floating Signature TV, one rich man somewhere will say, okay, can I be part of it? Now, on one occasion, you may want to say no because you want to own it all. On the other part is that even very rich men are not. I was arguing with someone the other day. I said, how many media houses do we have in the Southeast owned by Igbos? Not so many for the kind of crowd we command. Yeah. Okay, so why? Because how do we deal with the issue of always choosing individualism over, I mean, businesses owned by Igbo people don't outlast them. Once they die, it's gone because there's no collaboration. Is it something we can conquer as a people?
We have to be intentional. We have to be having this kind of conversations, not just as at Center for Memories, which I commend them for, because we never had these conversations as Igbo people. And that's why when I started, I commended the Center for Memories. We never had this kind of forum. Can you imagine a couple of weeks back, they brought back Things Fall Apart. A book written by an Igbo man. I am not going to, please don't disregard what I say if it doesn't make sense. I don't think that Wole Soyinka was a better writer than Chinua Achebe.
But look at how he's celebrated.
No, but what I'm saying is, even where he comes from, he's celebrated. His drama is performed all over, everywhere. He's up there. We were talking about Humphrey Nwosu not long ago. The same talk of marginalizations. Igbos opened their mouth to say we are marginalized. They didn't give Humphrey Nwosu national honor. Bad enough, okay?
Did we give him?
Did we give him? He comes from Anambra State. Did the governor of Anambra State 10 years ago give him a State Merit Award? I don't know whether I don't know how to describe it, but we don't even value what we have. Everybody, you know, if you go to your village over Christmas, everybody comes with his own generator. Everyone comes with their own borehole. They come with chains of cars. Do you know what we do over Christmas? One of my brothers is here. Because when we are in the village, we move around together. People invite you to their houses to tell you how much money they have. If after drinking champagne and washing your hand with Moet and what have you, when you're going home, they give you 24 years. Meanwhile, the road that moves from
wealth.
the road that comes into his compound, there are about 10 of them in that area. The road that comes to their compound is not tarred. That is the individualism you're talking about. So we need to be intentional. See, the younger ones here should ask their parents. But I want to change it. We need as Igbo people to start changing our own narrative. All right, we have seen these problems. What are we doing about it? Because I'm glad that my traditional ruler is here. The traditional institution has a role to play. They are our fathers. Let them call our leaders. See them, but you know, Your Highness, my apologies, but the traditional rulers, some of them can't stand on their own. They're collecting 2 naira from these political leaders. They can't look them in the eye.
All right, because
they can't look them in the eye and say, this is wrong, do it this way.
Sometimes, if you ponder on the situation we're faced with, you almost want to feel hopeless. And the reason is because almost everything that could be done revolves around government. And we don't see that demonstrated commitment to the Igbo cause. The people who are representing Igbos are not representing us. They are rather representing themselves. So, is it a hopeless situation? Can government be bypassed, even if it is momentarily?
The Igbos have bypassed government so many times.
Okay.
Besides the ones that the new novel rich, who think that the only way to show their wealth is drinking champagne and caviar and all that. There are a lot of Igbos, successful Igbos, who have organized their communities and brought some kind of development that government cannot give them. The Igbos are good at that. I don't think that the Igbo man, the average Igbo man, is dependent on government to eat. Igbos are not beggars. They don't like to beg. They have this kind of pride. So, what I think that we need to do is, I was talking with a friend of mine who is in the House of Reps just 2 days ago, and I asked him, this creation of states, did you guys, knowing that this thing is coming, minus the public, what's this thing they did?
Public town hall.
Public town hall. Did you guys meet with our Igbo leadership to say, gentlemen, we are going to start this thing? What should we be saying?
What's our position?
What is our position? People in the National Assembly. And I also asked him, I said, how many times do you members of the National Assembly meet
the Southeast Caucus
and say, what is our agenda?
What was his answer?
Look at what the North did with this taxation law that came in. For a long time they said no. They went back. You saw their meetings in Kaduna. They went back, came with a proposal back to the rest of Nigeria, and they touched it here and there, and they said yes, now we agree.
Okay.
So he said they do, but how are we seeing it? Look at state creation. You know how important it is.
Now, one more thing you need to deal with before we take inputs from the audience is I agree with you. We say we are marginalized, but there are also pockets of marginalization against ourselves. And one that stands out clear is that up till this very moment, you could doubt Igbo unity. There are stereotypes. You see an Ebonyi man, there's a way they talk about them. You see an Mbise man, you see an Nsoka man. We're casting aspersions on ourselves. And so it's more difficult approaching the outside world when we are not even cohesive? How can we begin to have a more united Igbo nation?
Is when we realize that there is advantage in numbers.
Okay.
Remember that saying, when you walk alone, how did they say it? But when you walk together, when you walk with others, we really need to know that you can't do it by yourself. No man goes to battle alone. That's why when there is battle, I read strategy. That's why when there's battle, some people are in front, the other ones are behind them, the other ones, some people are hiding and all that. So that if anything goes wrong, people will come from all these flanks to fight. We need to understand that we are better together. And it's not possible.
All right, quickly, we want to take inputs from the crowd. Our time is fast spent and we are doing our best to hit 6 o'clock as quickly as possible. If you have a question to ask him or you have an input to make, but just be mindful of time. We don't want to start another lecture. You just hit your question or you can just make your quick comments. Can I see hands up? Okay, there's someone here. Quickly. Dalorin.
Sir? Dalo. Dalo. Biko, ọbụ na ba ya na bụ oke mmadụ kwuchi okwu asị ka alacha ya ọnụ. Ka alacha ga ọnụ ebedike. Ịgbọrọ ife ewu na-eri. O nwere obere akọ mmakọ. The 19 Igbo leaders went to see Abacha. When Abacha was the leader of Nigeria, 19 northern Igbo leaders went with their paraphernalia and ndị butere akpa. And ụmụnne m unu mana ọ bụgodị na isigide ọnwụ nweta appointment na Azorok mgbe Abacha nọ. Ọ bụgodị na ị na-ana driver bujere akpa ya eketa at least 100,000 naira then. Hapụzi ego. O nwere ihe ndị Igbo jebere ịfụ Abacha for. Abacha wee nọdụ na hall mgbe ndị Igbo juru. Wee sị mgbe Ekwensu si alụ olili ka Abacha address ndị Igbo bịara ịfịa. Abacha nakọta ofe onye gba ya izu ọsị ya jụọ ndị a onye bụ their leader. Abacha bilido jiri microphone si, before I talk to you, I want to tell you who to your leader. Mmadụ ịsa akwụrụ ọtọ na Azorok. O wee sịpa na Aba mgbe ha kwutara onye isi onye duwekwa abịa, then he will now listen to them. The 19 traditional leaders from northern nations of Nigeria lost that opportunity to get what, and you know about 1 million march and all. Abacha was looking for support and he was looking for that support from the Igbo. We lost that. So now ihe kwuru bụ eziokwu. Onye Igbo na-ebe na-ebezikwo na Igbo na anyị na-ebele onwe anyị.
All right.
Ihe anyị na-ekwu bụ ọ bụrụ na ndị Igbo, the last Ohaneze, God bless his soul. Onwere ihe my brother who is moderating cool, Professor Onwe Jog, the veteran Igbo historian, told us na ihe nwere bụ Igbo Nweze. It was a corruption of that word. Ka si na Igbo Nweze. Anyị nwere onye eze nọ among us. Si jụọ ya, ọ ya nwe ndị be ha, ọ ndị be ha nwe.
Thank you.
It is a wrong one. Ka anyị ghara ịdị na-use ya among anywhere ndị Igbo Igbo Nweze. Onye ọbụla gwara na Igbo Nweze, anyị bụ ndị Igbo na-eme akpa agwa anyị dị ka ọnụ akọrọ anyị. Ndị Igbo nwere eze.
Thank you. Thank you. Quickly, subsequent comments should be very brief, please. Subsequent comments should be very brief. Just go straight to your point.
Thank you, sir. Contribution on two flanks. One, I flow na Igbo, the endangered species in Nigeria. Oh yes. And in that, strategic engagement is what is required. Anyama abuno nwanyi because ndi Nigeria mondo wa oranyase. Igbo na agbakwa mbọ. While we acknowledge our limitations and faults, we must acknowledge also our efforts, genuine efforts. Una tabuku na anya na ụta. O nwere ndị Igbo ma ihe ha na-eme at all fronts. Even if it is individualistic, all we need is strategy and coordination. Yeah. The second point I want to make, agami ikwegi sindi Igbo na I need another Bola Tinubu, or I need onye de ka Tinubu na ala Igbo. Oh ha! We need onye de ka Peter Obi. We need to clone Peter Obi. We need to have institutions where our young people will be oriented. Teach them, even if it's an existing center, like here. Can you clone one Peter Obi, like they like and his likes? Can you dedicate strategically one day, as in a Zulu presidency, na 2023, Peter Obi would have been there.
All right.
Genuinely.
Thank you.
Bikonu. Ndewo.
Thank you.
Abom Okazu Omennachi na metiti achi. Aha bụ Henry Abuadimma Ọnụọra. Eji m obere ohere a na-ekene nwanne m nwoke bụ Nnaanyị Ukwu Ebubedike. Ebe eji eje ọgụ. Ebubedike ekene gị. Anụrụ m iri kwuru nkata ịkpara anyị na gị kpara na mgbede atabara ọfụma ọfụma. Ebe okwu m na-aga kaba bụ ụmụ nwanne anyị ndị ọzọ nọ outside the five states anyị nwere na South East. Ndị Igbo abụrụ sọsọ na these 5 states ka anyị nwere mmadụ. Igbo nọ na Benue steeti, Igbo nọ na Edo steeti, Igbo nọ na Rivers, Igbo nọ na Bayelsa, Igbo nọ everywhere, ndị Igbo nọ everywhere. Dialects, little variation na dialects, bụ ihe ụfọdụ ji asị na ha abụrụ ndị Igbo. Mana ịnịcha afa ncha niile, how can you tell me na akwa gị bụ Nwike? Isi m na eburu onye Igbo. Ma na afa gị bụ kedu afa nke former Chibuike? Isi m na eburu onye Igbo. Who does that? Who says that? So please, while we are trying to tidy up issues with the region, that we should not lose sight of that we have our people even outside our region. Okay. We should make concerted effort to bring everybody together. When we do so, you will now discover that we are majority in Nigeria.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Hello. Yeah, good evening. My name is Daniel Okwo. I run a leadership foundation called Daniel Okwo Leadership Foundation. Well, I think each time we say we are marginalized, I disagree that we are not marginalized. It's a process. It's a learning process through before we get to the promised land. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't have any other. Yes, Tinubu disagree with his. I entirely disagree with anything other, with strategy or whatever. We have our own strategy, and God has also given us that person who will represent us at every level. And the brand name is P2B. If you like, except all we need to do, how do we support this man? Because he has marketed himself, he have done his whatever homework. But I'm happy that Brother Martin Obi has also strategy of because all we need is this media incentive or media whatever. With that, we can get to the promised land. All these people that say they are not Igbos, but they are answering Igbos, when there is time to share Igbos, they will now come and collect. They will now be time. You see, when you get it right, people will now looking for you. I think it's our turn or whatever. If like our president said that it's our turn, they have taken their turn. It's the turn of also the Igbos now. If we can support, see, I'm not talking about P2B because it's a brand that we should market.
All right.
It's a brand that we should project. It's a brand that we should. We are not here to, I run a leadership.
This is not politics that we're doing.
No, this is my own stand.
Okay.
And
thank you.
everything we are doing must be intentional. Because if you are not intentional in anything you are doing, anything can derail you. So now the Nkatumi has also brought us once in a month. We come here. It's where a starting point where we should. Because you have to be intentional. You must know where you are going.
All right.
And you must be determined to get.
Thank you, Mr. Dan.
Thank you.
Ụmụnwaanyị ọ na-ekwukwu okwu ebe a? Aka m asị. Ọsọ ụmụ nwoke na-ekwu okwu.
Ndị be anyị daalụ nọ. Ndị Igbo si nke onye chiri onye azelu. I want to thank Ebezina for his speech. He really delved into it very well. If I'm not an Ife, do I speak in Igbo or English?
Mix it up. Mix it up.
So that, what I understood from what Ebezina said is that Igbos need to help each other. We need to help others to climb. When he referred to ENUGU, he was trying to say that we need that Igbo person that will come out and take that power by force. And let us support that person so that the person will take it and make a mark. That's what we are saying. That when we encourage each other, we will get there. That's what he's trying to say. And that is what I understand.
I want one more lady and we're done. One more lady. Okay, there's a hand there if there's no ready lady. Okay. Please don't take all the time. Go straight to your point.
Manfred Sofruchukwu Zekwe. Amekene nwanne m nwoke wo Obiora Ilo. Mmemme ọchị kọwara. Ibe niile ikwuru bụ otu o shiwe odo. Mana ndị be anyị na-achịla ebido n'ụlọ adọrọ mma wee mee gịnị? Wee fụọ n'ezi. Anyị na-ekwu okwu ihe gbasara Igbo. Ka Igbo isi okwu maka ha. Na ọ bụrụ na ịracha ọnụ ụgụrụ eme gịnị? Aracha arụ. Ihe unu kpọrọ ihe a gbakọrọ bụ nkata ụmụ ibe. Mmadụ n'ole nna ebe a ka ekwu ihe n'Igbo ọnụ. Ihe niile akọrọ ebe a. Ọ bụghị nkata ụmụ ibe. Sorry. Maka na o kwesịrị ọ bụrụ n'Igbo. The reason bụ na bido ofube eji. Ka ụfọdụ ụmụ anyị kemgbe ndị ara anyị si ama ekwu ihe ma ọ bụghị n'olu be anyị. Ihe nji wee kwuo ha kwuru nwanne m nwoke mmekwu okwu o ji tilimbu maa atọ. Ama wọchị ụbọchị tilimbu m kwuru n'ọha ka o ruoru n'ebe. Tilimbu asụghị n'oyibo ọchị emilọkọ. Ndị Awụsa juru ebe ahụ, ndị Igbo juru ebe ahụ. Ma nye asị gịnị emilọkọ ịlụghị shiji ekọwazi arụ. Ogosini onye ndubu na-agbagbu ndị ọsọ ndubu unu. Ihe niile anyị kwuru ebe a na anyị sụrụ n'oyibo. Onwe ndị Hausa nọ ebe a ha ahụgo strategy anyị. Onwe ndị Yoruba nọ ebe a ha ahụgo strategy anyị. Just like he said, na ọ bụrụ na na-asị na onye ndị iro gbara gburugburu na-eme gịnị na-eche ndụ nke ya asọzi na ndị iro gbara gburugburu gị kwado ka isi emeri ndị iro mmadụ ma mmafu na-eji ebe a.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Professor
Please, Ebezina's prof.
You're the one raising his hand.
Thank you, prof.
Ndị m anyị ekele m unu. Aha m bụ Ben Nwozu. Ebubedike ekele gị.
Thank you, sir.
Ihe niile ikwu dị mma. Amakwa m na ị na-awachi otu ahụ. Ndewo. Ihe ị chọrọ ikwu ọ site na nkụzi i nyere. Ofu ihe ikwuru dị ọkpụrụkpụ leadership recruitment. Kedu ka anyị si azụpụta ndị ga-abụ ndị ọchịchị obodo and ndị na-akpọbata ha awụ ndị na-achị obodo kịta ka anyị si eme ya ajọka maka na tigbuo zọgbuo dị na ndọrọ ndọrọ na-eme ndị isi ha kpakọrọ ọnụ ada ekwe aga nso ndị tigbuo zọgbuo ibe ha bịa nso ọ bụrụ ha maka a na-akpọbatazi so that onye nụrụ na ọ na-arụbu agboro ma ọ na-arụ ọrụ enweghị isi nọkata ịnọ na Oga State House of Assembly ọga nke nwa 1 2 3 ọ bụrụgo nnukwu onye ọchịchị. Ofu ihe dị mkpa na leadership recruitment bụ philosophy. Kedu ihe dị particular leader in time believe? Awolowo is great because he had a philosophy. Philosophy ahụ ka o ji wee zụọ ndị ọ zụpụtara. Ndị ahụ ọ zụpụtara wee bụrụ ndị na-emesa afọ ya na Yoruba. All the national newspapers ndị be ha na-ede chọọ ikwu great national leader. The first person a na-akpa afọ bụ Awolowo. Awolowo Okazik. Ihe ha ji akpọ ewu o nyere ha philosophy zụpụta ha ha were na-akpọbata ndị ọzọ ga-awụ ndị isi n'obodo ha. Ihe izizi anyị nidiri ime bụ 1. Intentional leadership recruitment. 2. That leadership recruitment should be organized around the philosophy. Thank you for saying na okpoko dịka nkata ụmụ ibe nwere ike iwe ebe esi azụ ndị mmadụ maka future leadership. Ọ bụrụ na esi etu ahụ mee ya a ga-ezụpụtaba ndị nwere ike isi ana m ele anya ịchị ọchịchị echi agaghị m emetọ afa m agaghị m ezu oshi agaghị anụ na m na-arụrụ aka. Ọ ga-abụ onye apụta ekwuo na o nwee clean bill of health. Thank you for that one. Number 2, media. Nna anyị ukwu Zik nwere West African Pilot and chains of other media houses lụrụ ọgụ inweta independence through the media. N'ụwa ọgụ ahụ nụcha oru mgbe a na-alụ agha amụbeghị mgbe ahụ ka unu gara isi na m na-akọ akụkọ tọrọ mana agụtara m n'akwụkwọ. Ojukwu bụ ndu ndị Igbo wee jee agha ghọtara the power of the media so that the Vatican press, all the world media, World Council of Churches, in fact the last book, Diplomacy in Exile, I went to Ben Etiaba's house to pick my copy. Again, I was seeing the power of the media. Ojukwu Sine deployed the media even while he was in the exile. I needed what a clear Yoruba bomb casing David Honde, us in Igbo. Engage in strategic investment that do not yield immediate profit, and that is the media. It is the media that controls your narrative. Without that, we will lose the narrative of our own history, and other people will tell it for us. Finally, sir.
Okay.
Biko, Signature TV. Ịnọọkwa na Go TV anyị adịghị enwetakwa ndị ọzọ chọrọ ka anyị na-patronize ha na-ege ihe unu na-ekwu banyekwa na ebe anyị ga-esi na-enweta unu ndewonu.
It's a work in progress. It will soon happen. All right, before I hand over to Ebezina, let me kindly and quickly recognize the distinguished presence of a professor of governance, public administration, ACE at ENUGU, Professor Jude Udenta. Thank you for joining us, Professor Jude. Okay, back to you as quick as we can. Our time is fast spent. In fact, we're done. So, wrap it up.
Okay, biko ụmụnne m I didn't say we should go and vote for Tinubu. I said I need Tinubu nke ndị Igbo, a warrior. Maka ọgụ Nigeria abụrụ ọgụ a na-agbaka anụ. So that we should understand, I tried to emphasize it. I used him as an example. Or is anybody in this gathering saying that he did not organize to take over power? We speak too much grammar. I used to get grammar. So we need somebody who can even do it better than Tinubu. And that's why I said, so because let's not lose sight. Peter Obi is a man ndi Igbo ga support. And what I say support na Peter Obi. But we need somebody who has the sagacity. Makogo aragbakwa ka anu ya o. On eri ego, on eri obala, on eri everything. So that's a part. Then finally, since we are wrapping, I like me here, our brother Manfred, former commissioner for sports in ENUGU. Even when we are fighting for politics, for business, culture a lot of women are as you know, women are in the it's not completely true. We need to unwrap those things so that we can, take from our heritage. So finally, Biko Ndibo, Johnny Anua, Adokwizi. We need unity of purpose. My Oga, the professor, has talked about what is our philosophy. Another elder here said strategic engagement. What tribes also have a president? Although possible, not even in the outside who claim that they have all the population. We need in the EFIC. We need in the TIF. We need, so somebody has to do the work to engage these groups. It's within our reach. All Igbos need to do is to come together, put their hands together, and demand and fight for what is ours. That's the only way we can tell them. Nankabon kanye, no gain carbon kanye. Biko Igbo Ebezina.
It's a wonderful time, and I feel privileged to have anchored this. For listening.
Thank you. Good evening once again, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. And thank you so much for the excellent moderation. In the tradition of the center, we have a token to present to the keynote speaker and to the moderator of the panel session. And I will invite Chief Ben Etiaba to join the director of the center, Mazeha Niboko, in the presentation of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Ben Etiaba, I would also call on Omiyuku. Please join us. Omiyuku. I forgive you.
Well, good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Center for Memory and all our sponsors, especially Ford Foundation, it's my honor to present this to our moderator, Dalo Melofuma.
Omihuku Dalo, I also want to thank you for what you do for Ndibo. Signature TV. Kanekene Afia TV, you've done so much for us as a people, and I'll never stop saying thank you, and I'll never stop thanking you for the support you've given to this center and Nkata Omuibe. And before I present this to this great speaker we've had today, I want to say something about this edition. I've witnessed virtually all the sessions of the distinguished speaker series known as Nkata Umebe from day one. I was there as chairman of ENUGU Sports Club when Professor Chidi Odinkalu started this process. He spoke about Igbo Ekunia. From that day that he spoke to other great speakers, Professor Samamadi at some point, Oken Dipe, the late Ferdinand Agu, great speakers Niamodo, and not so great speakers like Ben Etiaba spoke at Nkata Umebe. I can tell you, and this is not to flatter Vin Martin, because if I have anything to do to Vin, is to unflatter him. So I'm not flattering him. This session, to me, ranks as one of the best 5 sessions we've had at Nkata Umebe, both in terms of delivery and the content. I enjoyed, somebody like me, I always have a short attention span, so if you ask me to deliver a paper for an hour, I'll do it in 25 minutes. Vin spoke for so long, and he kept me spellbound. So on behalf of the board of the Center for Memories, led by the chairman, Mr. Patrick Okibo III, on behalf of the patrons, on behalf of the executive management, led by the executive director, Mazi Ihanyuboko, I've been asked once again to make this presentation to a great speaker. And let me also add something, though he has clarified it. When he spoke, this is not a political event. It's not a political gathering. It's not a campaign event. When he spoke and he used the president's name, he used that name as a metaphor. He wasn't speaking literally. Even if he did speak literally, nothing was wrong with it. But let us all know that we're here objectively. We're here to achieve a good and great and correct narrative for our people. Just like he spoke. If you don't tell your story, others will tell that story for you, and you won't like the way they will tell it. At the risk of delivering another lecture, let it be my honor and privilege to present this to a great speaker, my brother, my friend, Ebubedike Obiora, the CEO of Signature TV, a great sports person, a great golfer, and this is the main plaque that honors you, Ebubedike, for this month. Emeka Mba is a great man. Emeka, come on, because Emeka presenter. If I be next to me, this is a very powerful man. So be next to me. So join me in presenting this to Vin Martinillo. And if you don't know what I've achieved, I'm in the middle now. So it's like I'm being the recipient of this plaque. Everybody, we're happy. We're proud of you. Okay, thank you. Thank you. And I want to use, if I may ask Emeka to still stand, because Emeka standing next to me makes me look more powerful. By the way, Uche Gabriel, congratulations, you did very well. It wasn't my task to speak, but you're ever the professional. The next Nkata Umebe. Nkata is always the first Friday of the month at 4 o'clock. So don't wait to be invited. So the next one will be on Friday, the 5th of September, this month at 4 o'clock. That same day, we will be kicking off the domestic tourism conference in ENUGU. Indeed, Peter Obi will be giving the keynote address on that occasion, and that event is happening at Ofuobi, a walking distance away from here. The event kicks off at 9 a.m. on that day. So we'll have the morning session. Well, it's a domestic tourism that will talk about our culture and arts. So we'll move from there at 4 o'clock or just before 4 o'clock to be here. So I expect the next Nkata to be packed because I'll be there, making sure that anybody who attends that seminar comes over here by 4 o'clock. Thank you so much. So you are invited to Nkata next month, and you're also invited to the domestic tourism conference. And with this, I'll say thank you so much to the center for always recognizing me as badly as I have performed over the years. Thank you, Erika. You did so well. You did well. Yes, if I may ask everybody to join us, Mrs. Omunye Obedike, Igwe, because please, everybody should come and join us for pictures. Na Igwe Obedike, so FIFA we metarota. Ekwesịrị Ebubedike na-abịa ka okwu. Ọ bụrụ na asị na ya awọ ọjị, anyị achọta onye ọja from the village, ya na afọ ọja. O wee na-abịa mana Ebubedike eziokwu, otu uzie ugbere. Next time I correct you. Igwe, daalụ. You get all the pictures, don't worry. I'm taking. Okay, your people are here anyway. Bikono, let us everybody to join us. This is the picture that everybody. This is not for VIPs. There's no VIP here. If I Nkata ndi Igbo ka na-agba. Nkata ụmụ ibe ka na-agba. So onye ọbụla bikono. Amụrụkwa ka isi ayọ ndị mara ya bịa see photo. Bikono, onye ọbụla.
Did you come and stand here?
My and I also now seeing the chairman, the CEO of ENUGU Rangers International. I also want to add that on the 16th of August, 16th of this month, we're burying our chairman, Christian Chukwu. Onye ọbụla bụ onye Igbo ENUGU kwesịrị ịbịa akwamozu Christian Chukwu. And on the 14th of August, there will be a colloquium in honor of Christian Chukwu at ENUGU Sports Club. The young ones can be. Everybody to join. If you you can join us, please. This is your program, so you can join us. And Kiri, you can also join. You can give someone the camera and then join us. Can we raise our just one hand up just to pretend as if we're happy? Yeah. Please. Yeah. If you're happy, raise your hand up. Just one. Thank you. Down there, down there. Everybody can Imeka, down. You did very well. Can you say yes?
Anyone?
Because we're missing it completely. Until we So to me, you have to start by dialogue. Ourselves.
Give me space, give me space. Come back small.
Where you go to see person wey go which kind shop? Which kind shop? Please, can I have space? I use a compact small. Go back, zoom out. Go back, zoom. Go back, zoom. Zoom. No, compact small. Now see space. That is your face. She won't have. They'll give you. Go closer.
Just
emerge from this conversation so far to come to the end of this whole show. And thank you for being here. My name is Chinemani. Thank you.